Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about DC's Legends of Tomorrow Season 2, Episode 12. It's called Camelot 3000. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. First things first. I have to say that I was expecting more of 3000 in this than I was Camelot. You know, I thought it would be more of a 50-50 split.
Yeah, I get that.
We got like a scene in the year 3000, and it was just all Camelot after that.
Also, before we go into the review in general, I want to point out we're coming off Flash and Shield already, which were both, firing on all cylinders. So
yeah, Flash was a great episode. Shield was an amazing episode.
we went into this going, man, this is going to feel like a letdown after those two.
Yeah, not because it's necessarily even bad, just because if this is just a typical episode of Legends compared to those two that we just got, this is going to feel lopsided.
Yeah.
It was a fine episode. I have some complaints, but I had fun too. There was fun moments.
And if you wanna put me on par with other great episodes, you give me my girl Courtney.
Yeah, Stargirl did pop up, masquerading as Merlin in Camelot.
Because why not?
I guess. I will admit, I did appreciate that Nate kept saying, "Oh, this isn't fact. This is all legend," and there was that moment where he's like. King Arthur's like, I will bring in my advisor. I'm like, oh, don't say it. That line where he's like, don't say it, please. And I was like, Merlin. That was funny. I will say though, Ray, I'm sorry, but most of this episode, all I could think was, you're being such an idiot. Why are you insisting?
It's
in
like,
fighting?
all right, who's keeping track for the counter?
I know. Yeah, the Ray screw up count is through the roof, but this one was especially stupid. He just, I'm going to stay. But I had a dream ever since I was a kid that I could fight with in Camelot with the knights. I want to do this. I'm like, Ray, you're going to get yourself killed. This is stupid. There's no reason for you to be doing this. You're creating extra tension and drama and conflict when there doesn't need to be any.
I like that everyone calls him out on it though.
They do, but it just, I don't feel like it ever justified why he's this determined to do it.
Because he had a lightsaber. Basically,
yeah, he had like, it was essentially lightning going around the actual sword.
It's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, it's always cool. Him jumping and using it in the battle sequence.
Oh yeah,
was
that
cool.
slow-mo shot was great.
That was great. And one thing I did appreciate, particularly in the outside battle stuff, is that it felt proper grimy and grungy and dirty and kind of that time. Yeah, because a lot of times with these old things, even Nate makes a comment about them all looking like they're going to a fair at the start, and I kind of feel that way a lot of the times in these period sort of time periods where they're in a castle, they're all wearing these like old knight uniforms and stuff. It just feels that they're all in costume rather than actually.
Yeah, but it all felt dirty.
Maybe not so much inside, but that battle stuff outside when they're all bloody and muddy and people are on the ground and stuff. All of that felt good.
Inside, I buy that a king has someone cleaning his castle.
True, but it's not even that I'm arguing that it's not realistic. It's just that I wasn't alive during that time period, so it all feels fake.
That's fair.
And a lot of stuff, not all the time, but in a lot of stuff.
But that does cover like 90% of the show.
Well, no, but I don't feel that way about all time periods. I mean, I just mean this particular time.
Oh, just when you go like this far back.
Not even just every time period this far back. I'm talking about knights in
this,
like medieval England.
Right.
All those costumes feel really fake to me. Usually, not always, but usually.
Okay, but they were pretty good here, for the most part.
Yeah, outside especially, it felt quite good. It had the right colour timing and stuff. It was reminiscent of like a fight in Braveheart when they were all sword playing.
Yeah.
Obviously not as good, but...
Well, yeah, TV budget.
But for the most part, not bad. Not bad. So yeah, in the year 3000, Rip goes and gets... we find out the spear's split into 4 parts. He's already got one that he got from the Legend ship. That's just him getting the second one. In the year 3000, he actually... The final mission the JSA whatever went on was to split up through time. Rip dropped him off in different time periods. Dr. Midnight went to year 2000, he had one. Rip goes to the future, kills him and takes it off of him, basically. And I actually kind of like how he wrote Rip in the blood, but Mick assumed they meant R.I.P.
Yeah.
That was a nice little touch.
Yeah. My question is, when did Rip do this mission? Like, is this something that we didn't see that happened before? Or
I think this is the past.
Right, okay, so it's past in a character's sense.
In his character sense, because he was time traveling, so he could go anywhere. But I would assume it's pre-season 1 Rip.
Yeah, that's what's thinking. Is like, is it pre-season 1 or is it something in the future? And then again, he mentions the Time Masters, so
Yeah, it can't. I don't think it can be the future.
no, you're right.
It has to be the
Because
past.
that's what threw me off. Because Doctor Midnight said, he goes, "Oh, I'm going to take it to the vanishing point. I'll be safe there." And Doctor Midnight's like, "Yeah, but you said."
Forget all this. It can't be the future anyway because he remembers it. That's why he's going to these places. He remembers doing it.
Good point.
So forget all your in-depth analysis.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying this is something that stood out as weird, as separate from that. And so he says, "Oh, I'm going to take it to the vanishing point," and Midnight says, "Oh, but you said, oh, Time Masters, they can't be trusted." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I did say that. Why don't you just go, oh, they're all dead now. It's cool." Didn't have to shoot him. It's like, oh no, they're all dead. No problem now.
I got that he was just getting tired of keeping up the the charade of what was going on.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, so he does that. Legends find him. Then the algorithm that Lily helped build with the old device in the ship leads them back to Camelot, and all the fun stuff as we mentioned. Ray's like geeking out at all the various things. There's even a sword, and of course the spear part's hidden inside the sword and the stone. Because
Yeah, shouldn't that already have been pulled out by this point?
Well,
as Arthur's king.
Well, as they keep saying though, this is only happening because history's been halted, and
I suppose
because Stargirl's back here parading around as Merlin.
That is true. She clearly had fun with that.
And as he keeps saying, it wasn't fact anyway, so even if it's not matching up with the legend, that's kind of okay, because it's not meant to have actually
It
happened.
does get away with it a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, they can smudge the details.
Aye, I'll let him off.
Maybe Arthur just puts it back in the rock. He doesn't. He's like, I did it once. I proved my worth.
I mean, he does get the second sword, so I guess maybe after that he puts it back in the rock. Because he gets the sword from the lady in the lake after the sword in the stone.
Aye.
So I guess that.
I've got a new one now. I'll put this one back in the rock.
Yeah, why not?
Put it on display behind me.
Aye.
Yeah, all the fighting was cool, but again, the big problem I had with the episode was just Ray. Like, why is he determined in doing this? To the point where everyone's like, right, we got the part, we can leave, and they all have to come back and save his dumb ass because he's insistent in staying around.
Yeah, because they basically went, "Hey, Ray hasn't filled up his screw-up counter enough this season. Let's let it go into overdrive for an episode."
Yeah. Yeah, also Rip was using this mind control device from the year 3000, and there was some fun stuff where it turns out Stein wasn't, his mind wasn't strong enough to actually manipulate it, but Mick's was.
Yeah.
Which was pretty funny.
Was.
Mick tried to get him to admit that his brain saved the day at the end was good stuff.
Was amusing.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. Obviously, Damien Dark's around as well. He's helping Rip, and when Rip gets taken down at the end of the episode in the battlefield, Damien pisses off. We get a nice little fight between Damien and Ray.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, Ray gets beaten, rightly so, but.
Which I liked how he got beat, actually. I like that it's just because Damien just pulls out a gun, because of course
Damien
he has a
cheats. Gun. Yeah. But what I don't like is it makes Oliver seem like even more of a chump. Because now he's getting equal fight levels as Ray.
True.
I mean,
yeah, until the gun he gets beat, like he gets knocked down.
He's down, yeah.
This is pre-powers though. He doesn't have powers yet.
Does he not?
No.
I mean, he doesn't have magic powers, but
what other kind of powers did he have?
Did he not have long life already? Because had he not been around a while? That's why he looks the same because they pulled him from the 60s.
Oh yeah, of course. He doesn't have the.
All right, but he's got league training.
He's got league training. I presume that's Lazarus Pit stuff that's keeping him alive.
Probably.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't have telekinesis yet.
No, but even that final fight of season 4, Oliver's struggling and they're just having a punch out.
Well, 2 episodes before that, Oliver, Thea, and Diggle, or is it Canary? I can't remember. But 3 of them were fighting a teenager, and they were actually struggling to hold their own 3-on-1. So does this surprise you that he struggled with Damien Dark 2 episodes later?
No, I just want to point out any chance I get to shit on Arrow, basically.
Sure. I'm cool with that. Sarah flirts with what's her name?
Guinevere?
Guinevere, there you go.
Aye.
Aye, she flirts with her. She kisses her at the end. There you go.
We're back to Sarah shacking up with everyone throughout history that she possibly can.
Yes, that seems to be your thing. Yeah, I think the other thing this episode did is it gave Armaya kind of a like, she accepts that she's now a part of the Legends permanently. It's not just because at the start of the episode she kind of has this bickering with Nate in this kind of awkward way where it's funny because she sort of responds to him like he's the one that started the bickering, but I feel like she did.
Well, I mean, I think she felt she was being sincere when he was saying, "Oh, I'm not sure about the future," and she goes, "Oh, you can stay on the ship if you want." I think she was being sincere in that. Like,
yeah, but I think his response was sincere as well.
Yeah.
He just says, because he just says, "What, do you want me to stay on the ship?" That's a perfectly reasonable thing to say to that sentence. And then she goes, "I'm not your boss, Nate. You can do what you want." I'm like, what?
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to side slightly more with him on that response. Then they keep bickering throughout the episode, and at the end, when she kind of decides that she is staying, and Stargirl's like, "I've found my home, you've found your home," and she looks over at Nate, and it's like, "Oh, maybe I can plant some seeds here."
Aye. It's kind of a very standard episode in that sense, isn't it? It's like, okay, we're all going to come together at the end.
It's definitely a weaker season 2 episode.
It is.
This is definitely not one of the best ones this season. It wasn't. There's a couple of ones that I would say were worse, but this was kind of had some fun moments. Plot was okay. For the most part, though, it was getting a piece of the spear, which they do pretty quickly. That was the other thing about going back to help Ray, is that they actually succeeded the main point of the episode already.
Yeah, I think at that point it was supposed to be the moral quandary of not can we help, but like, should we help these people? Like, should they interfere? Because obviously they're only in danger because of the spear in the first place.
Yeah, but then we get into all this weird argument of, well, technically this version of Camelot's not meant to exist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I feel like it wanted to be pushing that moral debate of should they be helping.
Here's the
with
problem.
Ray very clear, like, yes, we should.
But here's the problem, though, is they don't actually bring that up. Ray just does it out of some weird childhood fantasy, and then it's kind of mentioned alongside it at one point. It's not.
Yeah.
We don't actually get to see people suffering and go, "Oh, all these people are going to die." They don't hit that point home. They just have Ray do his thing, and it's like, well, do we leave Ray? I don't know. And don't get me wrong, there's some nice moments to come out of it. I like that Armaya's kind of like, alright, I'm part of the team now, let's not split the team up. I like that Mick's the first one that stands up and says, no, I'm going back for that floppy-haired idiot.
Yeah.
Almost in those very words.
Pretty much.
There was good moments to come out of it. It was just Ray's core reasoning was just really weird, and I didn't buy it. It felt forced.
I felt that a lot about Ray's motivations for things. He just gets so excited over everything. It's just like, yeah, because when I was a kid, I feel like that like half of the stuff Ray does is that.
He's kind of a really thinly written character, actually.
When you think about it, yeah. Maybe we shouldn't think about it too hard.
He always has been, but it just... I think it's more apparent on Legends than it was when he was in Arrow, because he keeps not having anything meaningful to do, so they gave him a relationship last season, which we hated. And then this season he's not been as bad, obviously, because he's not been in this forced relationship. But this stuff does keep coming up. His bromance with Nate actually is probably the best he is in this show. Like them,
it definitely is, yeah.
Them bickering and cracking jokes with each other's good stuff. So hopefully, it's not too much of a problem going forward. But it definitely stuck out here. So yeah, at the end, Rip's left behind by Damien, and as a result, our team has him prisoner in the cell on the ship. And we get the moment at the end where we find that Rip can still control Gideon, and that's our cliffhanger. And
it's a pretty good cliffhanger, actually.
It is a not bad cliffhanger, and he does that. It's actually very reminiscent of the closing shot of Psycho, where he sort of looks up at the camera almost as he's talking to Gideon. That's what it reminded me of. But that was a good cliffhanger. Rip as a villain is pretty interesting. It's actually more interesting than he is when he wasn't a villain.
I agree, but I'll be interested to see him as a hero again, dealing with the guilt of all this stuff. That'll give him something when he is redeemed.
Oh sure. When they demangle his brain, whatever the Legion did to it.
Yeah, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah. So we know there's one more piece of the spear that we don't have accounted for yet, because the villains have got two. We have the one from Camelot. There's a fourth one that's
Presumably with
somewhere.
another JSA member.
Probably, yeah. Just going by what they said in this episode, you'd think so.
Not entirely sure who.
I'd say maybe back to Old Obsidian, but then he didn't seem to know what their mission was when they left.
Yeah, that wouldn't really fit, would it?
So, the Old Steel, maybe? Or
Could be.
what else was there in the JSA?
I'm trying to remember who they had in this version.
That was pretty much it, because our man got killed.
Arman's dead, yeah.
Yeah,
Jay wasn't there.
Yeah, I think it was just Tim left.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense for the leader to have a piece.
It does. So, yeah, that's where we are with Legends. It was a fine episode. It just wasn't an amazing one. Had some good moments.
Okay. I like that the JSA are brought back in. It kind of stops them feeling quite as separate as they were.
That said, they've made a really good point of making it very clear, they're over. They're a thing from the past that's done.
Yeah.
But at least they're selling it as if they were important for years, at the very least. So there's nothing to say they can't go back to like the middle of their career and see them in action again.
Yeah, and obviously JSA is all about legacy, so you can go into the future and have a new version of the JSA at some point. And you can have legacy characters. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So, all in all, I would say it was a decent episode.
Yeah, it was solid. It just feels a little bit disappointing after the great night we'd had before this.
Well, just that. I think it's just a weaker episode of the season.
Yeah. Also, I was a bit missing Malcolm or Thorn.
Yeah, the other villains were... Maybe they were after the fourth piece. Maybe we'll see what they were up to
Maybe, and
next time.
like Dark was fine, don't get me wrong, but he's not as fun without one of the others to play off.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. It was fine, not exceptional. Some fun moments, some things didn't quite work, and a chunk of it kind of felt like filler. In all honesty, in terms of the core adventure, so not a bad episode either. So but nothing super to complain about. But there you go. So that's us this week's Legends. We'll be back next week. Actually, no, we won't be back next week with this one because it's taken a week off again. It was back for 1 week and it's off for another week. That said, after next week, it should be on until the season's finished, which goes up to
another handful of episodes.
Yeah, it goes up to 17, and this was what, 12? So there's 5 left.
Yes. Can't remember what episode this was, so I'm going to take your word on that.
I'm pretty sure it was 12.
All right. If it was, then yeah, 5.
5 episodes left. So we'll see you for those. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like and subscribe and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at @mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Individual Twitters on the screen for general rambling from us. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.